Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Bispies. You are here for the Atomos Incarnon build. So this one is very interesting. We'll get to that in just a second. So let's take a look at the actual Incarnon itself. Of course, you have the headshot transform. We have Hoplite Virtue, increasing damage, and then more on shield break. Evolution 3, we have plus range. The other one is just ammo maximum or magazine size, so we'll just be skipping that and taking the range for a low range beam weapon. And then we are taking the hybrid crit chance and status chance up. The reason being is if you build into both, you could have quite a surprising beam weapon. So we're going crit chance, crit damage, multi-shot, galvanized shot for the status chance and direct damage, 60-60 mods for viral to increase the status chance to a good amount and have a decent amount of viral. And then we are going to overload the heat because it is innate heat. We're going to add in with prime heated charge and anemic agility. This just increases overall damage because fire rate on beam weapons makes them just put everything out faster. And that's why we will also be running pistol ammo mutation. Of course, when min-maxed it would be primed, but I would need to do another forma. We'll be using Cascadia Flare because this gives more damage than Merciless overall, and I think that it has much better uptime. So, with that being said, I'm pretty sure everyone is familiar with the Atomos. It doesn't have anything special, it's just a beam weapon. But with this build and the upgrades, the heat procs do some surprising things to fully armored targets. Now, it's, you know, same old, shoot it, it latches onto another target, you can see it spreads a little bit, hit it again, it's just latching onto those two with miniature beams, you know, nothing too special. And you can see Cascadia Flare is always active, because look at the heat procs, we only need 10 or 12 to max it out, and it's just always up. And of course we're using the viral, so the heat procs end up doing more, and just more damage overall. So, what does the Incarnon do? Well, it gives us 21 ammo instead of our usual 70. You see, I thought it was going to be like the Ignis. Instead, it is more like the Ogress. It is an RPG-style shot. With a surprising amount of damage, blast procs, and I believe on direct hit, sometimes it could do impact procs. Yep, there was an impact proc there, 3 impact there because of the 3 multi-shot. Again. That time it didn't, that time it did. It seems to be a little inconsistent, but it can do impact. I did try building Hemorrhage with it, it was not that great. So don't think about doing a Hemorrhage build. Overall, it's surprisingly good, so just to demonstrate what it could do, of course, on armor strip targets, just high health enemies, I've armor stripped all these Exo Gokstad officers, not even going to use the Incarnon, just going to use the beam. And they're all gone in less than a second. Okay, that was a little silly, so let's try the Incarnon mode versus armor stripped. Wow. So for another test, we're just going to go up against some amalgams, just to show what it's like against shields. You know, pretty tanky on the shield, but once it gets to the HP, the heat procs will just take over. So again, go into Incarnon, start spamming the shots around, spreading the viral, spreading the heat. And you can see it cleans up surprisingly well. Quick note, the Atomos Incarnon form does indeed do self-knockback. The reason why I'm not getting knocked back is because of Prime Sure-Footed. So yeah, hopefully this gives you a good idea of what the Atomos Incarnon is actually capable of. This one genuinely surprised me. As I started to build it and realized how well it was actually doing, I got more and more excited for the end product. Who would have thought an old Grineer beam weapon would turn into just a absolute molten rocket launcher?